Hi everyone, I hope everyone is well. I'm recording this live just because it's easier than recording it, editing it and then having to upload it. So I've been a little bit lazy and I thought if anyone was here I can answer any questions if anyone has any at the same time. So yeah, it's just going to be my week 12 weigh-in update. Hey Siobhan, I love that girl so much. Make sure you go and follow her, guys. She is just the best. Hi Laura. Oh, stop it. I literally had to put some makeup on. I put some stories up this morning. I looked at myself and I was like, you look like you're gonna die, so you need to put some makeup on your face. But yeah, I thought I would come live and just do this just because it's easier. Pops isn't well, she's in bed. So if I look down, it's because I'm looking at the baby monitor. But yeah, 12 weeks, guys, 12 weeks on plan. I literally cannot believe it. So I started the plan on the 28th of December and this morning was my 12-week weigh-in and I lost £3, so I'm super buzzing. It means I've got £3.5, I believe, to get this week to get my 4 stone next week, which was my goal. So my goal was to get 4 stone lost by Poppy's birthday. Her birthday's Saturday, so I'm giving myself until Tuesday next week to get my 4 stone, but I was so happy with £3 this morning. I didn't think it was going to be that much because I have been feeling smaller. So I don't know if anyone has watched Jeremy, I never remember his last name. He did a video with Donna Dybel. He's amazing. He's one-to-one consultant. He works with patients from Harley Street. Like, he's literally amazing. And he explained how weight loss and inch loss works, and that your weight will normally plateau a little bit or you get lower losses when you're losing inches. So normally when I feel smaller, I'm always expecting a lower loss. So to get £3, I was just absolutely buzzing with. I'm really not expecting when I stepped on the scales this morning, especially as well because I've been on antibiotics this week. So I know I'd mentioned that I thought I'd had like a water infection or something. I don't know how, I've literally never had one before in my life. That I know of, but it was horrific. It felt like I was having contractions. I said to Jamie, I was like, I think I'm going to be one of those women who go to the toilet and like birth a child without knowing they were pregnant. Like, I was terrified. So yeah, I didn't know how they were going to interact with my losses this week either. But I mean, all in all, it was a really good week. Shannon, I'm on step 1B. So that's what I wanted to speak about today. Is I've been on step 1B now for 12 weeks, so I am stepping up to step 2 for this week, and I am a little bit nervous about it because I'm reintroducing food again. Hiya, Jem. I thought you'd be too busy to come on, so it's nice to see you. I'm just talking about my weird anxieties over step 2 week, even though it's literally no real difference to step 1B. But it is just that introducing food again, which is just making me feel a little bit weird. Like, I feel like step 1 is my comfort blanket. Like, I know exactly what to do with it. I really love the product, so it's not like it's like difficult to do or I find it like a diet. So the idea of reintroducing food again is a little bit daunting, but I think I've got my plan, and I think that's what I would really encourage you to do if you're moving up a step or you're like not sure what to do, is to speak to your consultant and make a plan. I reached out to Jem and I was like, help, like this is what I think I'm gonna do, does it work? And I think as well, like, we're pescatarian in our house because Jamie can't eat meat, so you know, normally you might have like chicken or meat and veg, and like when I did plan before we were eating meat, so it seemed a bit easier, whereas now I was like, oh my gosh, what do I have, forgetting that like there's a whole industry for like corn, fish, but it was just that initial panic, and it showed me that although I've come really far in 12 weeks and I've done really well on plan and I've worked a lot on my mindset, like the thought of bringing food into my life again made me feel nervous, which tells me that there's still stuff to work on, like up there. Like, it's still something that I find daunting because I know it could be a trigger to like binge or like just come off plan, which won't happen, but it's just that when you've had problems with food before, it's like if you had a drug addict and you were addicted to drugs, you would stop taking the drugs and then you've never got to have the drugs again, and then that's fine. You'll cured. You can just live your life and not have to worry about it. But like, we always have to have food in our lives. And I think if you're someone that struggles with food, or you've had food issues in the past, like, when you take it away, it's fine and like you don't have to think about it. But when you have to think about reintroducing it, you almost question whether you can trust yourself. Like, I know I can trust myself with the products because they're a safety blanket. Like I say, they're what I'm allowed. But as soon as you introduce food into it again, it's like I say, there's that part inside me that's like, oh, are you going to be able to do it? Are you not? So yeah, like, I feel quite vulnerable saying that, because I think I always want to promote like this air of like positivity and like it's absolutely possible, and this plan's, you know, I find it really easy, and I find step 1 really easy, but it just goes to show again like how much of it is in our minds and how much of that we have to work through. Laura, so true, you can't go without food. Exactly. Like, I almost think it'd be an easier world if we could just go without food, but we can't. We need it to survive. And also, you know, the planet itself is designed to make your relationship better with food anyway, so there's no point just never having it again, because you're not gonna put the building blocks there to relearn how to eat and what have you. Slim Swan, the step up meals helped me. The chili and potato wedges lush. Yeah, I did step up meals before. I think I did a couple of them before actually, but it's just not as feasible now, because I do direct dieter. I'd have to order like by the caseload, and I don't really plan on being on step 2 after this week, so it makes more sense for me to do step 2. And also, like I say, it's a test, isn't it? So let's see how I get on this week. But yeah, I'll keep you updated. I'll let you know. I think I've got planned what I'm going to do with my meals. I think I'm just going to incorporate the food into my meals, and that will, like, this sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Like, I feel like to make it all feel safe, like, it's ridiculous, but this just shows me that like there's issues with food there that need to be sorted, because yeah, you shouldn't be getting this worried about a bloody boiled egg or like some spinach. But you know, I always said I'd be honest with you guys, and so I could do step 1B the whole time and not step up, but I'm not going to teach myself anything. Laura, you will be saying how it's okay next week. You're so positive. I totally believe in you. You've got this. You're so in the zone. Oh, thank you so much. And I totally will. Like, I know I will. And it'll be fine. It's just pushing me out of my comfort zone. That's what it is. It's pushing me out of my comfort zone. And so it's just making me feel that, like, angst of, will I be okay? Like, I'll be fine. I know I will. But yeah, it's just pushing me out of my comfort zone, which is a good thing, because it's when you get pushed out of your comfort zone you learn the most. So yeah. Debbie, totally normal. I remember feeling this way too. Food with a meal is the way to go. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Food with a product. Yeah, I definitely think that's what I'm going to do, because it just, when I think it makes it more substantial, more like a meal, and 2, I've still got my safety blanket of my product there as well. Oh, sorry, Pops is just moving around, bless her, she's so poorly. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. It's her birthday this week as well, so it's her birthday on Saturday. How have I got a 1-year-old? I do not know. But it means that we will be travelling to stay with my mother-in-law, so she's part of our like baby bubble in Wales, so we've decided to travel to go and see her for Poppy's first birthday. We haven't seen them since beginning of December, like it's been ages, so it's quite sad really, but it'll be really nice for them to see each other on her birthday. But it does mean I'm going to encounter my first person not in my household like with plan, and she's already kind of said about like, oh, I'll get you this, I'll get you that, what do you want for tea, and like I've said, like I'm gonna have my products and this is what I'm doing, but it'll be really interesting to see how, it's like another challenge. It's just a week of like out of my comfort zone challenges. So between going up to step 2, staying away from home, and like seeing people that haven't seen me since I started plan and don't really know anything about plan, you know, it's a lot of new things, and I'm someone who I cope very, very well when I am in control and I'm in my routine, very well. That's like how I thrive, to be honest. And then when I come out of my comfort zone and I challenge myself, like that's where I can wobble a little bit. And never really externally, but that is the times that generally I would turn to food, because I would put a front on in front of people. Like say I had to do like a presentation in work, or like something that was outside of my comfort zone, I would do it and everyone would be like, oh my gosh, you did really well. And then I would have like built up that much adrenaline that I would go home and just stuff my face. So it's weird pushing yourself out of your comfort zone and like staying in control and not like going off plan. Like, I don't know. It's just like I say, it's a week of new challenges, but I think I'll learn a lot from this week. And I think if I can get through this week and out the other end with all the different things that are happening, I will feel so much more confident in the rest of my journey, because I'll know that some of the big things I'm worried about I can do, and like I'm sure I will. I hope I do. Laura, that's what I would do on step 2, because it's a fuller meal, the extras won't seem a lot on its own. Yeah, I'm hoping, like I just don't, I'm also a really bad cook, so like trying to come up with meals is really bad. I've been watching SJ's videos on YouTube because she's veggie as well. And I'm like, how do you come up with this stuff? How do you think of this? Like, I'm so rubbish. I do well with direction in life. Their jaws are going to drop their base. Oh, thank you so much, Lovely. I really hope when, like, people are like, I don't know. It's an odd one, isn't it? Because, like, you want people, sorry for clapping there. You want people to notice, but at the same time, like, I don't want too many questions about it. Like, I know I blog on here and I share my journey with all of you, but like I said before, this is my safe place. Like this, you are my people. Like you get me. You know my struggles. You have been in the same boat. We're all in this together. Whereas, like people that aren't on plan, sometimes I don't want to be questioned a lot by them, because it's like my thing. Like I just want to be left to kind of get on with it, and then I'll emerge a swan at the end. But people do have questions, which is brilliant, because they're inquisitive, and you know you can help educate them on it. But I don't know, my brain's all over the place today, guys. Like this is what happens when like I'm like a little bit anxious about stuff. I just go back, my brain goes back and forth all the time. Like I can't like fix on something and stay with it. Like I just keep fluttering, and I talk myself in and out of stuff all the time. Is anyone else like that? Is that just me? Is that just me? Christina, it's almost like the adrenaline had to go somewhere, but still, so yeah, that's exactly it. And I think that's why sometimes people who maybe struggle with their weight are really successful in other areas, because it's like you can push through in those areas, but then you have to have something to go to. You know, the same way someone might have a drink after a stressful day, or go and have a cigarette after, like I used to smoke years ago, and that would be my advice. I'd go and have a cigarette after like a stressful meeting, or like something that I didn't want to do. Whereas when that vice went, I just filled it with something else, and it's trying to learn not to use those vices and just get on with it. Oh gosh, I'm blabbering, I think. Becky, oh my god, I am 100% with you. I want to emerge a swan, but only have 3 weeks, so no time. You can do so much in 3 weeks. So much in 3 weeks, honestly. Like, oh my gosh, if I think back to 3 weeks ago and where I am now, you can do so much in 3 weeks. A week, even a week. It could be so much. And it's not even just like how you look, but the biggest thing for me is like how I present myself. So like I found that I want to spend more time doing my makeup, doing my hair. I'm getting back into clothes I didn't wear before, which, you know, so I'm wearing this today. This is from Next. This is years old, but this is like a size 16 jumper. It's like one of my favourite jumpers. I haven't been able to wear it in, I don't know. I think the last time I wore this was just when I fell pregnant with Poppy. And so I think even like little things like that, you hold yourself differently. So you stand up taller, you smile more. Like, and people notice that almost more than they notice your weight if you're like, you present yourself like that. So, you know, you can do so much in 3 weeks. You can do so much. Laura, no, it's totally normal. I get anxious but excited at the same time. Yeah, it is. And I think sometimes I mistake excitement for anxiousness and like nervousness. And they do say, don't they, that like being nervous is just excitement. But like as soon as I get that nervy feeling, my brain, I just go like the clappers and I just overthink everything. Becky, I've been on my nose 6 weeks and don't see a change. I have lost but still don't see it. It's so hard. Have you been taking pictures, like before pictures and then pictures throughout? So I do my photos every 4 weeks, and then I do like try-ons as well. So I have oh god, I'm gonna do a try-on later on my stories of a jumpsuit I wore like probably 4 years ago. No, about 3 years ago. Yeah, ish. I was about 3 stone lighter than I am now, but I want to get back into it. I felt so good in that jumpsuit. Like, you know, you just have an item of clothing. I never keep clothing, but I kept that. God knows if I'm going to be able to get it on, but I was like, I'm going to put it on because then I can actually see the progress. So even if the scales are a bit lower 1 week, or even if I don't really feel it in myself, I know that like progress is happening. So I really, really recommend photos and trying to phone. Go and watch Chloe, the queen of try-ons. I tagged her in my stories earlier on. Like, oh my god, I was watching her try-ons the other day, and like just seeing how far you can come in just a couple of weeks is so amazing, and that will really, really keep you going. Because it's insane, and you don't think a lot's happening, and then you try something on, like my green shirt. I didn't think much was happening, and then I went to try it on to take like a midway picture, and it fit, and I was like, what? That's just crazy. I definitely need smaller clothes, so no try-ons for me. Yes, took pics, think my brain just haven't caught up. Yeah, and even, you know, even if you want to buy something, it doesn't need to be expensive. You can pop on eBay and get something just like a size smaller, because size probably, you know, in about a month or so you'll see that fitting better. But our brains they take ages to catch up. The thing is with this diet is, and I saw a really interesting post about people who have bariatric surgery and lose weight very quickly, and I would say that the weight loss from bariatric surgery and like this plan are actually very similar. I had looked into surgery when I was, you know, desperate and been like, I need to do something. The weight losses are very, very like similar, but they were saying how patients' brains just cannot catch up at the rate they lose weight. So, you know, be kind to yourself on that. It may take a little bit of time, but just keep reinforcing it to yourself. You know, look at your pictures and just remind yourself every day how well you're doing. You're doing fab, and you'll get that. And then one day you'll be like, oh, I look so hot. That's what my plan is anyway. Hopefully by the summer. But yeah, just wanted to come on, like I said, and oh, Pop's gone back to sleep. Love her. Just wanted to come on to obviously share my anxieties about this week. Wanted to keep it real. I am nervous, but I'm gonna just make sure I use all the tools I got available to me. So I'll be checking in probably more with Gemma, and looking for some inspiration on here as well for like step 2 meals. But yeah, it is it's a nerve-wracking time, but we'll all get there. We all have to go through these bits. It's not smooth sailing. You don't lose a lot of weight and just it all being hunky-dory. And like I said before, I know I do try and really look at things positively in life, but it doesn't mean that there's not a side where it is hard. And this plan, for as good as it is and as you know, easy as I find step 1B, it's not always, you know, a walk in the park. I really have to tell myself sometimes to just do it, just crack on, just get it done. But yeah, really hoping I can get, I think it's 3.5 I need to get for my 4 stone next week. 3.5 or 4. And I don't know what's going to happen because I'm on step 2 this week. So maybe that's making me anxious as well because I set that as a target. But Gemma reassures me that the losses are quite similar on step 1B and step 2 because I think they're the same calories. So hopefully, hopefully it works. Guys, can you tell I'm just like, I'm a mess today. Just going back and forth in my head all the day, all along. It's exhausting. But anyway, I'm going to go and have a cup of coffee. Thank you for anyone who tuned in. I'll be saving this to my IGTV so that if you weren't able to come on the live, you can catch up there. And yeah, let me know if you like this version of me doing my weekly updates, and I might just come on and do them live every week. Who knows? Quite like a little bit of interaction with it as well. So yeah, hope everyone has a fab day. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next week.